there's no world leader. I mean, no one is going to war with the guy that walked across the demilitarized zone and shook hands with Kim Jong-un. Nobody is going to war with the guy that Putin fears because he knows that Trump will push the button, right? Nobody's going to war with Trump. Nobody. And that means that nobody's going to go to war with a president-elect Trump either. And I think I don't think it's going to happen.
This is what I like about Trump.
I don't believe it.
So Milo is either super smart or one of the biggest BSers on the planet. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's both, right? But he went on Timcast the other day, and he called out Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and a lot of these other people that are kind of, you know, running the show when it comes to right-wing media. And, well, you just got to see it.
You know, I was talking about a business deal I was in about 7 or 8 years ago. And what's traditional in the industry is they said...
with Russia?
No. I'm just kidding. It was with a New York-based network.
I'm joking.
And the way they say that these typical deals work is... And you know this probably in Hollywood. They give you a contract. They call it boilerplate. It stabs a knife in your back, and you've got to hire a lawyer to go through it and rip out all the evil. And
it's not just that, but there's a hierarchy of knives waiting to stab you in the back at every moment. So if you dodge this one, the other one gets it.
So I go into this meeting. They say, "Here's what we want to do. It's fantastic. We'll email you the contract." I say, "Sounds good." I look at it. I read it. I laugh, and I say, "Are you nuts?" And then I respond to the email saying, I appreciate it, but this contract is not serious. It hands over IP. It hands over ownership. That's a ridiculous thing for you to have asked me for, and amend it. They said, send it to your lawyers, redline it, and send it back. I responded with, if you think you're going to put a $5,000 legal bill on me to try and do a business deal, I will not be entering business with someone like you. And I said, kindly F off.
But this is what everyone else has done. I mean, look at the Wilkes Brothers system, okay?
But right, my point is simply this. Sorry, just to finish. This is what I like about Trump so much, and when you say he would push the button. There are very few people that I've met that I respect who would be willing to say, I will crash my own car before I would ever bend my knee to you. Donald Trump is the guy who says to Putin, I will nuke you before I let you win. And Putin's like, he might.
Yeah. So this is called the Madman Doctrine. And the Madman Doctrine was most notably deployed by Nixon, okay? And Nixon's thought was, if I make people think that I'm crazy and I'll do pretty much anything, people will be too afraid to start SHI, you know what. And he was right about that. And it was very effective. Madman theory, or the Madman Doctrine, is why Trump behaves like he does, which a lot of his critics don't understand, which is, if you think, and I guess I'm a student of this too, if you think somebody will do literally anything, like you cannot predict how they will retaliate, and for the slightest of perceived insults, they might retaliate with massive, brutal punishment, which is typically how I like to operate. You just don't go there. It's not worth it. Like it's just no point risking that, right? But to your point about the contracts, interesting thing happening in media at the moment. All of the people who took those deals are beginning to fall and fade. Yeah. Nobody talks about Ben Shapiro anymore. Candace Owens has gone completely crazy. All of those the people who took advantage of the censored and the cancelled in 2017, who kind of, basically, you might say, stole their audiences. Those guys, you know, the Wilkes brothers and the, you know, whatever. So the Wilkes brothers are Texan billionaires who have funded most of the worst people in conservative media. You know, the sort of people who are rabid Zionists even by Republican standards.
Drop some names.
And well, I just did. So the Daily Wire, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro.
What do you think's crazy about Candace Owens? Rabid Zionist, I mean.
Well, she's gone the opposite way now because she's left and because she was. It's a bit more complicated. I'll get to that. So she started off that way. She's a creation of the Daily Wire, okay? And she started off a Zionist, all right? That's when they were funding her. Now they're not. You understand the difference? Okay. So,
but you called her crazy. So what is she crazy about now?
Well, because she's gone off the boil into conspiracy theory because she no longer has a producer and she started to make her own decisions, which is, you know, always a mistake for somebody who's never read a book. But,
fact check true. Candace.
She's never forgiven me because I roasted her in front of many of actually all of the richest Jews in Palm Beach.
We do got to go to super chats.
Sure, I'll be quick. I'll be quick. The thing that's happening in media that's interesting, I think, is that interruption. all of the people who took those kinds of deals are falling or fading, right? The people who gave their IP, gave their whatever. So if you think of it like this, you have the Mercer ecosystem, which is Bannon, Breitbart, me, Tucker, and Trump. And then you have the Wilkes Brothers ecosystem, which is the Daily Wire and all of the kind of like hyper-Zionist Prager, right? Those people are all kind of like faltering at the moment, the people who took those kinds of deals. And the people who didn't are starting to like spark up a little bit. And in this, and as we're seeing, you know, the reason Candace is in the trouble she's in is she got lured out of the safe environs of the Daily Wire and independent, and then lured into a variety of crazy positions by Nick Fuentes, who told her, we got you. I'm going to give you access to my gigantic audience of like, and it turned out there was no gigantic audience because he's botted to buggery. Just like all of the other Wilkes Brothers entities, they fake it till they make it. Ben Shapiro did this. She did this. Nick Fuentes is attempting to do it just without the money, which is going to be a very, very nasty end for him. But she's been lured out of this. Point being this. There's an opening now. There is a huge market opportunity now for people who said no. And I did the same thing. I was brought into WME, and they gave me the same offer they gave you. And I said, no. There's a huge market opportunity now as all of those people who astroturfed their way to supposed fame, to like #1 podcasts, none of their listeners are real. None of their their advertisers are not getting what they paid for. The listeners aren't real. The viewers aren't real. The book purchasers aren't real. All their books are. So I don't know if you know this, but when you write a book, so the books that I write are like actually popular for politicians and whatnot. If you are an unpopular person, you can pay about $500,000 to a firm that will buy your loads of copies of your book in various different places to game the New York Times algorithm to make you a New York Times bestselling author. It costs about $500,000 on a good week, $1 million if there's another good book out. All the people who did this, who have burned through millions, are now all kind of like fading out of the conversation. So there's a big moment happening. And the reason I'm making such a big deal out of talking about this for so long is right now is the moment. If you are an up-and-coming or an enthusiastic conservative podcaster or a wannabe host, or you want to be somebody like Tim, or you want to be somebody like whatever, now is the moment, because there is a huge widening of the market at this exact point in time with Trump's election and with the fall and fade of all of the previous gatekeepers and kingpins. There is a massive opportunity right now and a huge empty space, a massive open playing field for you to just buy a Shure MV7 Plus, plug it into your laptop, get a simple camera, and become really big and really wealthy.
We got to go to Super Chat.
So it's kind of amazing how inspiring he can be just seconds after nuking multiple people's careers by saying that they were completely built up by bot systems and they faked it until they made it, right? Which, you know, speaking as somebody who's sitting here in a spare bedroom, sharing my thoughts and opinions with you guys, I just couldn't imagine what it would be like to find out that all of your support has been paid for by some big company and it's all fake. And it makes me think about these woke pundits on the left, the Destinies of the world, the David Pacmans and Jink Ugers and Sam Cedars even. And I'm like, how do these channels have so many subscribers? I mean, these people are very obviously lying. Like, they're not being honest. They're very disingenuous to their viewers. And, you know, David Pacman's got over 2 million subs. Destiny has like 700,000 subs. I think the Young Turks is over 1 million. And I think Sam Cedar is over 1 million. And it's like, where are all these people coming from? This can't be right. I mean, look, my channel's got 26,000 and I'm growing daily. And I appreciate everybody for watching the videos and subscribing to the channel. But, you know, I feel like I stand for truth, and I'm not propped up by these big companies or anything like that. And so that's where I'll ask for your help to make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're an America First individual, you're in the right place. You would be supporting the right individual, and it's something that you can do for free. And so I appreciate it if you take the time to click that button And, you know, if not, that's okay. Maybe next time. But I will ask you guys, or at least remind you, let you know that I go live on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. And I'd also appreciate it if you guys want to click the Discord link down in the description and join the Discord as we grow the family, right? And that's what I'm in this for. I want to have a nice community that we can talk and share what's going on in our lives and help grow each other's products. You know, I was inspired by Tim Pool and a lot of these other folks out here, Patrick Bet-David and stuff, to start doing this. And if I could share any of that wisdom from what I've learned over the last year and a half doing this with any of you guys, that would be the place to ask me, is in Discord. So anyways, if I don't see you guys in either one of those, you'll definitely want to stop into the next video. But regardless, if you don't want to stop in and join the Discord, that's fine. You certainly won't want to miss the next video. So I'll see you guys there.